I am the can-do girl. My name is Sonia, and I also pet sit. And I have had some friends ask me about how I got started and if I need help, and essentially asking for some guidance so that they can do it themselves. And so I thought I would share a little bit, maybe my story. I will start with my story, and then I'll have some tips and tricks in maybe a future video. So how I got started, I was working full-time as a teacher and had just moved to a new neighborhood, and some friends who lived there were going to go on a trip, and they asked if I would stay at their house and take care of their two black labs while they were gone, like Friday after work until Sunday night, I think. I don't remember. It was over 10 years ago. So I said yes, having no idea what I was doing or what was required. I mean, as a child, I had dogs and cats, but I'd never actually taken care of one. Mom did it all. So I never, as an adult, had a pet. So I went, and they left me some instructions and showed me where the food was for the dogs, and you can just let them out the front door and they won't run away. Don't need a leash. So we went for it, and I really didn't understand how dogs follow you from one room to the other, and how they just want to be wherever you are. If you're sitting on the sofa, they want to sit beside you. If you go to the bathroom, they want to go in with you. If you're sleeping in the bed, they want to climb in the bed. I mean, not all dogs are like that. Many of them are trained, and they sleep in a kennel or a little dog bed at the foot of the bed in the bedroom, or in their own room in like the laundry room or something. But this was my story of the first time I'd ever done it. So these two dogs were older, middle-aged and older, and they said it would be real easy. So, okay. I come home from work. I quickly throw clothes into a suitcase. I lived in the neighborhood, so if I had to, I could drive home and not be gone long at all to go get what I might forget, which was handy because I did. Brought some food, brought some leftovers or whatever I had made, and salad fixings and so forth. And so I thought, okay, here we go. Well, big mistake. Don't ever do this. I don't know why I thought this was acceptable, except that these were really good friends. And I had other good friends that lived in the neighborhood. I invited them over. We had a party. And I took pictures and sent it to the people. Here's what we're doing in your house while you're gone. No, don't ever do that. I mean, they never really said, we really prefer you don't do that. But I would if it were me, and they probably thought it. And they're still my friends. God bless them. Anyway, friends came over, and they brought food, and I had food, and we laid it all out, and we visited with the dogs, and it was just a fun evening at the house. Anyway, point number one, do not do that. Do not do that. Have no one else in the home. I mean, unless someone specifically says, it's okay to throw a party here. It's okay to have your friends over. Bring them over. I've got a pool table. They can play. Unless they volunteer that information, don't even think about it. I'm surprised that I didn't start pet sitting and end pet sitting on that first job. Anyway, I had no idea what to charge, and so I didn't. They said, well, what do you charge? I said, I've never done this before. I don't know. I'm doing this as your friend. So, and they left me $40. I think it was $40, or it might have been $40 per day. I can't remember. That was 10 years ago now. So anyway, I was grateful. I mean, it was helped with grocery money. And I thought, oh, that wasn't so bad. I can do this. And it encouraged me. So I thought, well, let's do this again. So word got around the neighborhood, and somebody else said, well, hey, can you stay with our dog while we're gone for the weekend? So I did, and it just kind of grew and has been word of mouth ever since. So I have never advertised except to hand out business cards to people who are also walking their pet in the neighborhood wherever I am, my own or someone else's neighborhood, wherever the dog lives, wherever the pet lives. And I'm walking the dog and I pass out my business card, keep them in my jacket pocket or, keep them handy. And that's the only advertisement I have ever done. It's always been word of mouth. I've gone above and beyond whatever I've been asked to do. I do it better, bigger, longer, wider. I leave the house better than I found it. Anyway, those are some of the tips and tricks. I'm going over into those. Let me get back to my story. So a year or two goes by, and it was recommended that they gave my name to somebody else. Plus, I had passed out some cards in the neighborhood. I think the first time I left my neighborhood was to go to this high-end neighborhood that bordered our neighborhood. And someone called me. They said, so-and-so gave me your name and number. That person was from my neighborhood, and she didn't have any pets, but she's a real, she's a marketing person. She used to be in real estate, retired real estate, and so she just loves connecting people together. And she knew these people. I think their husbands knew each other. And she goes, I know somebody that can watch your dogs during the golf tournament. So these people didn't really leave the neighborhood, but they were at this golf tournament that turned into a party in the evening, and went on from like 7 in the morning until 10 at night. And so they asked me to come and be with the dogs all day long. I didn't stay overnight. They had a house full of company, actually. There was no room for me to stay there, and it was a very good first time for me. So I just drove over to their house. They were there they were there. I arrived before they left, and then they came home while I was still there because we didn't know how long the day would go. And I forgot what she paid me, but that was the first time I felt like actually charging somebody. And so I just charged for like one whole day. And I don't remember what I was asking at that point, maybe $60 a day. And again, that's probably 9 years ago. So they happily gave me that, and maybe even a little more as a tip. And I was thankful for that. And it's like, I got my foot in the door in this new neighborhood. That was, I would have done the job for free if they'd asked me, but I'm happy they didn't, because, you don't want to be taken advantage of once you have a little experience. So today, I would not offer to do anyone for free. This is my livelihood. This is my way of my bread and butter money. This is the way I make an income. So if someone asks me, I very unhesitantly pass on what I do, all the different things I will do, and what it costs them. And I don't blink an eye about it. And they mimic me. They don't blink an eye either. Now, if they're shocked, they don't show it, but they accept it. And then they either book me, or they say, okay, I'm glad to know this for some time. And then later they'll book me, or maybe they haven't ever. And in that case, you know what? Here's another tip, a free tip. You don't need the people who don't want to pay you. It's better not to have that job than to have to chase being paid. And I have had a couple of clients like that. And I just think, you know what? Next time they call, I'm not going to be available, because I'm not going to chase being paid. I'm not going to be made to feel like I don't deserve it, which is the way I feel if someone has me come and stay and then I leave and they haven't left money for me and they haven't mentioned how they're going to pay me. And I ask how they're going to pay me and they say, when we get back, and we'll do it then. I don't do that anymore. I say pay up front or leave it, which is also paying up front, leave it on the kitchen counter with any notes that you have for me. Because now, after 10 years of doing this, I am a professional. So I know my way around, and I am happy to share with you tips and tricks and shortcuts and things that make life easier and better for a pet sitter. Actually, I call myself a pet nanny because I am just like a full-time nanny for the pets. So that's my story, and I'll look forward to sharing things with you next time. All right, take care. Bye.